morning. My name is June Tinsley. I'm Head of Communications with NCBI. Today we're going to have a quick podcast around the topic of Bookshare and how much of a valuable resource it is to students who are in third level college. But and here to talk to me about it is Aoife, Tierney and Anthony Curran, who are both students in and are far more equipped at telling me their experiences of Bookshare. So thanks very much for joining me today.
No problem.
Great. And I suppose if Aoife, we'll start with you. If you wouldn't mind kind of telling the listeners a little bit about yourself and how you got connected with NCBI.
Well, it was actually only last December I got connected with it. I was 19. I'd started college in September of last year, and I only found out about it because my father had heard about it on the news or something, and he said, "Why don't you look into it and see?" And then I registered, and I've never looked back. It's the best thing I've ever registered for in my life. It's just so convenient and easy and brilliant.
Perfect. And just to inform our listeners, Bookshare is Ireland's largest digital accessible library, and it's perfect for students who have a visual impairment or who have a print disability such as dyslexia. And Anthony, tell us about your situation and how you got connected with NCBI.
Yeah, so I was connected with the NCBI there for a long time since since I was much younger, since I was in secondary school and school then to a lesser extent. I'm finished college now, so I graduated there from Trinity. I had only actually just recently heard of Bookshare there in the last number of months. I'm sure had that been available while I was in doing my studies at that time, that it would have made life much easier. There wouldn't have been as much in the way of I suppose in getting on to publishers. So I suppose to have one kind of central platform or that kind of database or central library certainly made things more easier in terms of accessing those resources.
And Aoife, can I ask you, what course are you doing?
I'm studying an arts degree in Dundalk Institute of Technology, and as part of that, I've 3 main modules. So I'm studying English, politics, and there's a digital humanities side to it. Like you design websites or do codes and different things like that.
Okay, and you're returning hopefully in a few weeks. And what year are you going to go into?
I'm starting second year in a couple of weeks' time.
Okay, great. And how accessible friendly do you find that campus as someone with a visual impairment?
Oh, it's brilliant. The disability office is actually great. I'm not the best on stairs. I'm very slow on them. So when I met up with her at the start of last year, she goes, "Look," she gave me a lift key because I'm slow on them, and then being slow on stairs isn't best when you're on a rush to class. So I can
Yes.
just throw myself into the lift, and then I get up there in no time.
Okay, great. And even just navigating corridors and everything is okay for you?
Yeah, it's perfect. I'm in the same building for everything, so you get used to it. You know where all
Yes.
the classrooms are.
Okay. And Anthony, you obviously mentioned you were in Trinity. What did you study in Trinity?
I did politics and sociology.
Oh, both kind of similar courses. Interesting. And from your perspective, how accessible would you describe the campus for someone with a visual impairment?
Yeah, personally, from my own experience, I thought the campus was very accessible. I think they have a wonderful disability service there, and um, like they're great to deal with all students from different backgrounds and different abilities, and they'll endeavor to do their best to put what facilities or supports that are needed in place. But yeah, in terms of the accessibility, there's lifts, special lifts, would say for wheelchair access if necessary, or and yeah, I mean, I suppose everything, it takes some getting used to in the beginning, but no, certainly um overall I found it very
And obviously, Anthony, while you were in college, as you just mentioned, you're a recent graduate, the Bookshare platform wasn't open to you at that point in time. So tell us, how challenging was it for you to get the resources and the materials you needed in an accessible format?
Yeah, I suppose that did certainly present a lot of challenges now. Like as I was saying earlier, the disability service there, like, are exceptional. Like they worked very hard to like get onto the publishers, like to try and get the electronic accessible formats for them. But I suppose it meant a very kind of like when you're only maybe one institution or one college, maybe getting onto publishers, there might be a lag time, or you might have to wait a certain period of time before they might get back to you. So I suppose it meant then, and even just getting resources, then, like there might be a book. I mean, that's fine maybe if there's core text, but if there's maybe books you might need on a weekly basis, or like different, it means then that I suppose now, and like for those at Bookshare, they can get them, like they have enough resources, so like you can get them easily. So yeah, I'm sure like it'll make a big difference for uh, I guess for incoming students or for current students.
And in terms of Anthony, if you had to obviously wait for publications to arrive to you, um, I hope the professors and lecturers were able to assist in making their content accessible to you.
Yeah, well, like I mean, there was always ways around. So like books from the library and using like external software that the college would have provided. So like different pieces of technology, like ZoomX. Like many times it wouldn't have been possible maybe to get books from the publishers. So like, I mean, like even in cases where books aren't available, like there is ways that like you can still access the material, although it might, you know, like it might have taken a bit longer. But I'm sure this now, to focus on current, it should make a big difference for them, and hopefully, it will make their lives easier.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you sound as if you had to be very resourceful to get the materials you needed, and thankfully now with Bookshare, having those resources at your fingertips, it'll be much easier for other students. Um, Tell us, Aoife, what benefit do you think Bookshare will be to you when you return to college?
Oh my god, I actually find it brilliant because like the campus library in Dundalk, it's not huge, and then like that there's stairs up and down to it, and then they have like one or two of each book and they're limited, and then it's on a first come first served basis. So I'm never up there to get them, and all I do is I log into Bookshare and I find it, and then I can read it on my iPad and I can make the writing huge if I need it, or I can download it in audio form and then I listen to it on the way home on the bus, which is another great thing about it. You've time to kill on the bus, like you've an hour or so to kill on the bus. So like you get, your book listened to that you need to have read for college for the next day, or so
And
it is great.
as you rightly say, it is available in different formats. So it's available in digital, in audio, in um, you can magnify it. It's also available in digital braille. Um, do you feel that Bookshare will be useful for multiple types of students?
Definitely, yeah. Highly recommend anyone who is entitled to sign up to it, definitely do, because it's a lifesaver.
Well, I genuinely hope it'll ease your journey through college. And
Definitely.
in terms of Anthony, thinking back over your experience in college in general, what kind of advice would you give other students with a visual impairment going to college?
Make sure to get on to someone and see what often like there are supports there, and like you should make use of them. I suppose just like maybe in terms of like starting, you're going to a new city or a new campus, it might be an idea maybe to get on to the NCBI and about the possibility of like route training or something like that. But yeah, like those are the main things.
Okay, sound advice indeed. Aoife, what about you? What kind of advice would you give other students going to college with a visual impairment?
As Anthony said, register with the disability office as soon as possible, because I know I did, and I got to go up to the campus before anyone else was there, and she showed me around and showed me how to use the lifts and showed me where my classes would be, and it was brilliant because then I got to know where everything was before going in, so I wasn't going in and being completely overwhelmed and not knowing where to go and be feeling anxious and lost. And then just make sure anything you're entitled to, that you make sure you get it, because you're entitled to it, so why shouldn't you get it?
And who would be the best person to advise you on what your entitlements are?
I found the disability officer in my college was great, or even my guidance counsellor from secondary school helped me with saying, contacting the college and saying, look, make sure you get everything. She was brilliant. She said, I'll ring up the college and I'll make sure the disability officer's in contact with you and everything.
Okay, great. That's a very practical piece of advice, in fairness. And I suppose on the other side of the coin, you're Aoife, going back to a college in a world of COVID-19. How challenging do you think that'll be for yourself and other students with the whole social distancing and moving to more tutorials online and all that system?
Oh, I say it will be difficult. Like, I have been told I'm as good as online for semester 1, so like it will be hard going in 1 day a week, or having to get the bus up and trying to pass time hanging around all day, or like there's not a lot, like you have to book times for the library, and there's not much else I can really do apart from the library and campus. I can't do sports and different things, so like the library will be the only place I can really go.
And do you have a sense that any of the kind of societies or clubs will be open, or are they all going to be shut as well for the first semester?
I really don't know. All we know is we're online. They're still trying to make things as accessible as possible for everybody, but nobody really knows what's going on in this crazy world.
Yeah, it's true. I suppose they're just waiting. They're back to school stuff is happening at the minute, so it's a question of kind of address those issues and then move on towards college. But your hope is to go back in the middle of September, is it, Aoife?
I'm back the very end of September, so I am.
Okay. I genuinely wish you well with that.
Thank you.
And very much thanks to Aoife and Anthony for their time today, having a chat about Bookshare, and just to encourage all students who do have a visual impairment or a print disability like dyslexia, that Bookshare is the ideal platform for you to make sure that you can get access to your resources in an accessible format. And to access Bookshare, all you need to do is simply email library@ncbi.ie, and the library team there will advise you the best way to register. So thanks very much, Aoife and Anthony, and I'll let you go.